Biden's advanced age is a big issue. Trump's, however, is not. Sorry, that was a New York Times pitch spot. I apologize. I love that guy. I should do an interview with him. You might think I don't like Rupert Murdoch. That's simply not true. How could I dislike a guy who makes me look like Harry Styles? Call me old. I want everyone to have fun tonight, but please be safe. If you find yourself disoriented or confused, it's either you're drunk or Marjorie Taylor Greene. This dinner is one of the two great traditions in Washington. The other one is underestimating me and Kamala. But the job isn't finished. I mean, it is finished for Tucker Carlson. What are you wooing about like that? Like you think that's not reasonable? Give me a break. Just give me a break. Look, like I often say, don't compare me to the almighty, compare me to the alternative. We added 12 million jobs. That's just counting the lawyers that defended the president. Had Ron DeSantis, I had a lot of Ron DeSantis jokes ready. But Mickey Mouse beat the hell out of me, got there first. Now look, y'all keep reporting my approval ratings is 42%. But I think you don't know this. Kevin McCarthy called me and asked me, Joe, what the hell's your secret? I'm not even kidding about that one. Look, it's great the cable news networks are here tonight. MSNBC owned by NBC Universal. Fox News owned by Dominion Voting Systems. Last year, your favorite Fox News reporters were able to attend because they were fully vaccinated and boosted. This year, with that $787 million settlement, they're here because they couldn't say no to a free meal. And hell, I'd call Fox honest, fair, and truthful, but then I could be sued for defamation. It ain't nothing compared to what they do to me. Did. Tonight he asked me to keep it short. Even offered me $10 if I'd keep it under 10 minutes. That's a switch, a president being offered hush money.
This is Joe Biden at the White House Correspondents Dinner, taking aim at everyone from Marjorie Taylor Greene to Tucker Carlson to Donald Trump. And I gotta say, none of it was even a stretch. What the right-wing ecosystem has managed, all on its own, is to completely screw itself as it continues elevating lunatics and conspiracy theorists to positions of power. And that is perfectly clear whether you're talking about Fox getting sued to the ends of the earth, Donald Trump getting sued to the ends of the earth, or Marjorie Taylor Greene just existing. Now, a few things here. First off, whenever 5 minutes goes by without an appearance by Joe Biden, Fox and Republicans love to dive right back into pretending that the guy can't remember his own name. And this has been a recurring phenomenon. Ever since the campaign, Republicans have framed Joe Biden as being incapable of forming a complete sentence, much less being able to lead the actual country. And then you have a public event like this one, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which I assume even Fox watchers caught a glimpse of, and it suddenly becomes clear that Biden isn't exactly the dementia-addled corpse that Republicans have framed him to be, while he proceeds to humiliate them on stage. The right will feed you a narrative, but they're not exactly concerned with reality. And by the way, that's a point that I viewed firsthand. I literally sat down with Joe Biden, and I think it was pretty obvious that he was not just cogent, but beyond capable of doing the job that he's sitting in.
I ran for president, really and truly, and even my supporters were not critical of, but thought the reasons I laid out why I was running, maybe they weren't such a good idea. I said I was running for 3 reasons from the very beginning. One, to restore the soul of America. this idea of decency, honor, treating people with respect, literally treating people with respect. And second reason, rebuild the backbone of the country, which is the middle class, working class folks. This trickle-down theory of economic growth, excuse me, has left an awful lot of Americans out. And I've never seen a time when the middle class is doing well that the wealthy don't do very well and the poor have a way up. And so that's why I focused on how to change the circumstances and opportunities for working class and middle class people. And the third reason was, which I got a lot of criticism for, was saying I had to unite the country. We can't be a divided country. We can't be sustained and do the things that have to be done if we remain divided based on ethnicity, based on politics. It can't work. And so they're the three things. I hope my legacy is that I was able to restore some decency and honor to the office. I was able to bring the middle class back to a place where they had real opportunity, given an even chance to succeed. And I was able to reconstruct our alliances, which had been frayed so badly internationally, and that I was able to bring people together, bring the politics of America together. And I think we're making slow progress on some of these things, but I think that's where we're moving. I hope my legacy is that I restored the soul of this country. I was able to give the middle class, and we were able to build the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not the top down, and that we're able to unify the country again.
So yeah, put that answer against a meandering Trump response any day of the week, and then we can have a conversation about whose brain is actually mush. And beyond all of that evidence, forget the optics, just look at what Biden's actually done as president. We're sitting here pretending that the jury's out on whether he'll be able to do the job as if he hasn't already done it, and more effectively than most other presidents in American history. MSNBC's Mehdi Hasan, not exactly the most party-line guy you'll ever find, called Biden the most impressive president of my lifetime. Biden's overseen the addition of a record 12.6 million jobs, more jobs in just over 2 years than any other president has added even in 4 years. And that includes a staggering 800,000 manufacturing jobs as the U.S. enjoys a manufacturing renaissance in this country. He oversaw the passage of the American Rescue Plan, which prevented a long-term recession like we had in 2008, of an infrastructure package, of the first gun safety bill in 30 years, of the Inflation Reduction Act, which allowed the government to negotiate lower drug prices and capped out-of-pocket healthcare costs for seniors at $2,000 a year, and capped insulin costs for Medicare recipients at $35 a month. Not to mention the biggest investment in combating climate change in American history, the PACT Act, which guaranteed healthcare to sick veterans, the CHIPS Act, which helped make the U.S. a world leader in clean energy manufacturing. He forgave student loan debt, which of course Republicans are fighting in the court system right now. He started the process of removing cannabis as a Schedule I drug alongside heroin. Quite literally every one of these things are popular, and some of them were even Republican talking points. And yet when Republicans had power, had unified control of government, what did they do? They gave themselves a tax cut. That's all. No infrastructure, no lowering healthcare costs, no immigration reforms, just made themselves a little bit richer. So I get that Republicans want you to think Biden is unqualified, but per usual, that is just projecting from the right. So as we head into what looks more and more like a repeat of the 2020 election cycle here in 2024, Republicans will surface all of the same attacks that they deployed in 2020. They'll pretend that Biden is some corrupt authoritarian while Trump is some brilliant tactician. But all you have to do is look at their records. Trump lost jobs, Trump oversaw the world's worst response to the pandemic, Trump destroyed our international standing, he alienated our allies, and sank our economy. Biden has restored all of those things. And it turns out that the only salient attack that Republicans have, this idea that Biden is incapable of tying his own shoes, is being undermined every time Joe Biden opens his mouth. Especially when what he's saying is putting their own misfortunes on full display. So good on Biden for taking these swings at the faces of the Republican Party. A former president who's about to be indicted all over this country, a news outlet that's flirting with insolvency for its inability to actually tell the truth, and a Republican lawmaker who thinks that 9/11 was a hoax. Because as he himself says, this election will be a choice. And if the choice is between Joe Biden and that clown car of lunatics, I think it's clear who the vast majority of Americans will choose. Before you go, I need your help. I'm right on the cusp of hitting 2 million subscribers, so please help me grow this channel so the progressive media ecosystem grows by hitting the subscribe button right here on the screen. I also started a Spanish channel so we can finally start regaining some of that lost ground among Spanish speakers, so if you want to help support those efforts, you can hit that subscribe button. And finally, if you listen to podcasts and you want to support mine, you'll find a link to that on the screen as well. Thanks so much for watching.